We've come here to Bicester Heritage Centre and to Classic Performance Engineering to learn more about what StarterMotor are doing for the historic motoring industry. David, with us, you're the Chief Executive of StarterMotor, the charity. Tell us a little bit about what it stands for and its work.
Well, putting it really simply, and we probably wouldn't put this on the ad, but we're all about putting young people in old cars. And we recognise really that there needs to be an investment in infusing young people about classic, vintage, veteran cars. And we found the more that we do it, the more young people are getting involved in lots of different ways, whether they're just simply driving along in them, or they're entering the industry as an employee, or they're just figuring it out at school. Once they've seen and they've kind of smelt the leather, there's a huge amount that are really intrigued. But unless we intervene and do and illustrate to them what's happening, what it's all about in this day and age, we could go by unnoticed. And the future of the industry is reliant on this next generation of people with skills and with hobbies that are all part of this industry.
Well, we're here in Bicester Heritage Centre at CPE. It's almost the centre of the classic and vintage car movement, if you like, certainly in terms of preparation. So how do you work alongside Bicester, and how do you work alongside manufacturing and preparation companies like this?
Well, this is a fantastic place to be at Bicester Heritage, and the principal way we work right on this site is working with organisations like the Heritage Skills Academy, who is a training examination body that looks after dozens of apprentices and are helping them gather the arts, the skills and the engineering capability to restore, to rebuild and to service classic cars. So we're helping in the whole area of attracting young people into those type of careers. So you could enter a 4-year apprenticeship. At the end of that, you come away as a qualified engineer, but with a very specific qualification in historic car engineering.
Oliver, we've been talking about StarterMotor, we've been talking about the Apprentice Lifeline, and here you are. You've been working at CPE for a while now, and you're just back at work, happy to be back.
Oh yeah, much happier. I mean, I've had projects and stuff at home, but it's much better to be at work, seeing people again. Stuck in my own garage by myself is enjoyable for some of the moment, and then it does get boring.
So, how far are you through your apprenticeship?
So I am 2 years in, and I should be finishing next June, so 3 years.
And what qualification will you come out with?
I believe it's Heritage Technician, along the lines of that. So it's a genuine engineering kind of course with focus on classic engineering, obviously. And it's been going really well. It's very enjoyable.
What attracted you to the heritage side of the business, of historic motorsport?
So my father and grandfather, mainly a big influence. My grandfather was senior production engineer at Cowley. He put the Mini and the Minor on the line. And he worked with the designers, so Alex Sigafones and Alex Malta. And so that was, but unfortunately he died in 2013. So before I could get a lot of the knowledge out of him, unfortunately he passed away. But my father has always been big into his cars, and he's carried on using the same garage my grandfather used when he was building cars. So it's lovely to work in that kind of aesthetic, but my dad is probably the big influence out of it all.
So do you find that this love of classic and vintage cars come through when you're actually working on them?
Oh yeah. So it obviously took me a little while. Obviously I was 13 when my grandfather died, so I really wasn't old enough to get the information out of him I needed. But from then onwards, working on cars in the area is just amazing. There's such a gratification you get from working on these cars.
Martin Greaves from Classic Performance Engineering, thank you for having us with you today. We're talking about the importance of apprentices to the historic motoring world. What's your opinion?
I think they're vital to this industry and to other industries obviously as well. I was fortunate enough I didn't actually do an apprenticeship, but I started work as if I was an apprentice with a company similar to this, and that's been my working life since the early 80s.
When they come to you initially, what are you looking for?
Obviously enthusiasm and a certain aptitude, just some good basic hand skills and presentable, and then as long as they've got the enthusiasm and the hand skills, then the guys at Heritage Skills Academy or any of the other apprenticeship schemes can then hone them, and hopefully with our help as well, they can then become fully rounded engineers.
What do your regular staff think of the apprentices? Is it painful for them, or are they happy to try and help them?
A mixture of all that, to be honest. I've got a really good workforce. They all understand the need to bring young people into the industry. A lot of them, though, are fairly eccentric just by nature of working in here, and sometimes it takes a little bit to tease out their expertise and pass it on to the next generation. But no, basically they're all on board.
But with CPE, you have such a wide range of cars here. Oliver, your apprentice, was telling me they go from 1903 up to 1970.
That's right, yeah.
How do you keep across all these different marks?
Yeah, I suppose it was just a slow process for myself. I started off in one make, vintage Aston Martins was where I cut my teeth. Then I went on to mainly Jaguar stuff, and with that company we then spread into other marks. And I soon realised that actually each mark has their own signature, but it's all engineering at the end of the day. So if you use the same basic principles, then it goes right throughout everything we do.
Tough times at the moment. Survival is the name of the game for you?
Yes. We moved to Bicester Heritage 5 years ago. Brilliant move, fantastic place. But we found ourselves this year with a lot of race car engineering work, which was going to be great. We were looking forward to a fantastic season. Unfortunately, that was one of the first things that went, so probably 70% of our business disappeared overnight. So we are looking to do more homegrown race meetings when they come back on queue, and we're just promoting the restoration and sales and service side of what we do.
But you have done some work with Hero ERA, I think, on some of their drive cars as well?
Yeah, we've helped out looking after and doing some of the maintenance on some of their rally cars or ride and drive cars.
So rallying is not off your list, it's on the list for CPE?
Yes, absolutely, yes, yeah. As long as it's got four wheels and an engine and it's old, it's on the list.
Martin, thank you for helping the apprentices, thank you for working with StarterMotor, and very good luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers.